Welcome to the Be Kind Podcast with your co-hosts, Seth and Ra. Presented by the Animal Advocates of South Central Pennsylvania.
Welcome back, everybody, to the exciting part 2 of our conversation with the incomparable Rissa Miller. I'm Seth.
I am Ra.
And this is
Rissa.
And here we are. Yay! What are we talking about now?
So I did some homework for the show, and I thought I would sort of go in chronological order of my favorite vegan myths.
Okay, your favorite.
My favorite. There's so many more. So many stories that people tell about vegans. I'm definitely going to save the good ones for last.
Okay.
So your listeners are going to just have to hang in there.
You heard that here. Hang in there.
Hang in there, because we're going to get to protein. Oh, yes. I will address it.
Thank God we're going to get to it, because I haven't had any in 10 years.
I know. I can see that you're languishing, actually.
Yes, I am.
It's quite sad.
I'm protein deficient, big time.
Yeah. I'm here to say there has never been a case of documented protein deficiency in America having to do with diet.
I believe it. Although I believe there's probably been plenty of people having too much protein.
That's a thing. Proteinaholics are real. Yeah. But we'll circle back.
Back
in my 31 years as a vegan, and if you listen to the last episode, you know about that. My first and favorite vegan myth I encountered is that all vegans are sickly and pale. That was my favorite, especially because back then I was neither sickly nor pale. And I remember people saying that and looking at me, and I'm like, do you see me right in front of you? Like, I'm standing right here.
Right.
You know? And I felt like going, like, I'll put my blood work against yours any day, sir.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
It was really an interesting thing to get faced with, sometimes weirdly directly. I mean, there were people who literally say it to my face, aren't you afraid of being sickly? Like, what? No. I'm here to say, as a mythbuster, vegans are actually usually healthier. You can eat any diet and be sickly and pale at all, especially if you have some underlying health condition that has nothing to do with what you eat. Vegans come in all body sizes and all shapes and of all activity levels as well. Lots of vegan athletes out there. Veganism is not a visual identity. I mean, I guess for some influencers maybe.
Right.
But
not in our reality.
But in reality, it's not a visual identity.
Right.
It is an ethical or health-based identity, or some people both. Nothing whatsoever to do with appearance. It is interesting to note that I will get a lot of people, random strangers, walking up to me if I wear clothing that says the word vegan on it.
And what are these random strangers saying or doing?
Over the years, the questions have changed. But it used to be like, are you vegan? How do you do that? Like, I just do it. Like, what do you mean?
Right, yeah, I know. I never quite know how to approach that at first.
But it's almost like an invitation. So I actually was in an independent coffee shop, and I was wearing a shirt that says, my body is not a graveyard. And it has a human rib cage with flowers blooming out of it. I wasn't even thinking about my shirt. And the woman waiting on me looked me in the eye and she goes, I know you're judging me because I'm not vegan. And I literally was not thinking about her. I was not judging her. I was not thinking about being vegan in that moment. I was wondering where my damn tea was. But she was holding it and scowling at me. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I was like, first of all, this shirt doesn't say I'm vegan. Secondly, what? And then she went on for several minutes telling me how she tried being vegan, but she got dizzy all the time and it wasn't working out for her. And you know, she doesn't really appreciate, you know, when people judge her for it. And I was like, I literally haven't said a word.
Well, but it's because she is feeling that discord within herself.
Exactly.
Shirt.
Yeah, it was literally nothing to do with me.
Right.
I finally just said, can I have my tea? Yeah. Like, I need to leave.
Right.
I'm double parked. Like, I've got to go. Like, you have your issues. You do you. But I'm literally not thinking about you right now.
Yeah.
It is fascinating to me how people respond to the news that they're talking to a vegan. It's as if you were some other category of human, some different. And the interesting judgments around that. I would never tell someone that veganism is an easy path to weight loss. If you are going to do a whole food plant-based diet, maybe. That is a whole different category of eating. It is a subset of veganism, and it is something that requires a lot of cooking. If you are going to be a healthy eater and calorie restrict, you can lose weight on any diet.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all about calories in, calories out. Veganism is not necessarily a path to easy weight loss. So the thin vegan stereotype, I don't even know where it actually came from.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. The internet didn't know either, because as I was researching this, I'm like, where did that come from?
Oh, geez. But and especially nowadays with the more, I love the availability of more and more basically processed vegan foods that can be stepping stones, but it makes it even more difficult. Not difficult, but it makes it more possible to eat a poor diet.
Or just an excess of calories.
Right, yes, exactly,
Yeah. But a lot of people are like, oh, if you're vegan, you're probably so thin. And it's
if only.
No, that's not necessarily true. That those one and one doesn't come up to two there. But it is a long-held stereotype.
I think it's because people think you only eat grass.
Exactly.
True.
And
true.
that,
birdseed.
Yeah, birdseed.
I mean,
rabbit food.
Yeah, hand me some millet. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Well, our sound guy, Toast Orkin Bjorkin Unicorkin, actually runs a Facebook group called Fat Ass Vegans Are Awesome, which John, I don't know what your point of that is, like from your perspective, but to me, it's always been about saying,
it's inclusivity.
It's inclusivity, yeah. Like we are all body types, all diets, all these kinds of things, and it's not all about, we don't all have yoga mats strapped to our backs and
why should we?
Right.
But
I do have a pretty sweet yoga mat, though.
Does it have like animals and stuff on it?
No, it's got a nice a flower shape, like a fleur de lis kind of thing.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's an old French pattern.
It's in that department.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
But in my many decades now of veganism, my body's gone through lots of changes. So I am now in my 50s. I have hit a spot where I am menopausal as vegan, and I don't have any symptoms of menopause.
Interesting. That sounds like an episode in itself. Is anybody out there talking about vegan menopause?
People are barely talking about menopause.
Right.
It's kind of a do not go kind of topic.
Well, we got to have you back for a whole episode on vegan menopause. I think that's a great topic.
Well, I'm not an expert, but my experience is not what any other woman I know has been going through. And when I talked to my doctor, she said, she goes, looking at your health records, I think it's because you don't consume any hormones. Huh. She's like, you haven't, for 30-some years, eaten dairy, eggs, or meat. She's like, so you haven't been taking, outside hormones into your body. And I was like, well, that makes a lot of logical sense.
That does make a lot of sense.
Huh.
So I don't have studies about it per se.
Right.
But that was her opinion. Before that, I have been a professional dancer. I've been very athletic. I have dealt with colitis flare-ups. I have been through recoveries like the one I'm in right now. As a 50-some-year-old menopausal woman, I didn't break any bones when I fell down a concrete staircase.
And that's without drinking cow milk.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah. And the doctor I saw said, she goes, isn't there some study about that? And I was like, yeah, there is. And I'll come back to that in a minute.
Okay.
I have been incredibly sick and weighed 90 pounds, and I have weighed up to like 125 as a vegan. My weight has fluctuated. For those at home that can't see me, I'm very petite. And it's always been sustained by plants. And it's never been that I couldn't get food or didn't have food or whatever. I've met vegans of all shapes and sizes, incredible athletes. I got to meet NFL players who were vegan in my years running vegan drinks. They were huge. Like, I was as big as one of their arms.
Right.
Literally. Yeah. I'm not even exaggerating.
Oh, no, yeah. They are surprisingly huge.
Yeah, like tall, big bones. Like, literally, their arm bones are bigger than my whole person. So, I was like, are you like a gladiator from another life? Like, you're huge. Do people come this big? But I think the myth that vegans are all thin or that it's a great way to lose weight is just nonsense.
Right.
It's food. Yeah. This ties in lovely to myth number 2. Vegan is automatically healthier. Okay. I'm here to say that sometimes, yes, If you're actually eating a whole food plant-based diet, absolutely. But if all you're eating is cookies and donuts and chips, maybe not.
Yeah. Oreos aren't healthy.
No.
For the record. I wish
No.
they were.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
But no, it's not a thing. Hydrogenated oil never really works for anybody's well-being. I mean, the chocolate, yeah, we could make a strong argument for that.
Sure.
Being vegan doesn't automatically mean your diet is balanced. It just means that you don't eat animal products.
Right.
That's it. There was a person I used to know who stopped eating Oreos because he found out they were vegan. He's like, I don't want that vegan health food.
Wow.
Whoa. Okay.
And I remember thinking, wow, like, when did you bump your head today, sir? You know, like, what is this?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, wait till he hears about, like, apples.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So crazy. Yeah, just because a product is vegan doesn't make it automatically good for you. Okay, you can argue that it doesn't have cholesterol, and that is true. But hydrogenated oils, saturated fats are still going to affect your physical well-being.
And your cholesterol can go up
Absolutely.
if you have a larger fat content.
Absolutely,
triglycerides,
especially
that sort of
those
thing.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or trans fats.
Yeah. It's not like if you're eating a fully vegan diet, like your cholesterol is not zero.
Correct.
Yeah.
And cholesterol is affected by genetics. Not fully. I mean, you can use diet to help bump it back. But I know incredibly healthy, active vegans that still need cholesterol medication, especially as they age. So, you know, it's still important, even if you're vegan, to maintain your health and well-being and go to the doctor. So that said, you can still eat too much sugar. You can still get too few vegetables. I think a lot of vegans are not getting enough fiber.
Oh, yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people, but it's a fact.
Because you eat your beans.
I eat my beans. I eat cereal loaded with fiber. I eat all kinds of fiber stuff.
You go in for the grape nuts or the all bran?
Oh, I eat Fiber One.
Okay. Because I feel like grape nuts and all bran are kind of like horse feed.
Yeah, but I'll any cereal. I like the shredded wheat, like the plain shredded wheat.
I actually love that too.
Yeah.
I think it's
good.
fun to eat.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
The texture is really fun.
Yeah, the texture's amazing.
Yes, I play with my food.
You got to let it sit in the milk for a little bit.
Oh, no.
Not a lot, but no, I'm just saying like
Oh, no.
like at least a minute. It's got to be in there a minute, because if you don't, that thing's going to just tear
Do you
you
also
up.
stab your cereal 3 times to activate the flavor before you eat it?
No. Tell me about this.
Yeah, I don't know that story.
Oh, like when people eat cereal, they just like with their spoon, they just like
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, 3 times. It's a very common thing that people do.
Are
It
you
sounds like a
sure?
superstition.
No, it's a common thing. Ask the internet.
Okay.
I will.
So, you know, I think for me, when I think about people wanting to be healthier as vegans, I always try to steer them into a more like whole foods diet. And when I teach veganism or vegan cooking or anything, I always include recipes like that in the collection. Last year I was really lucky. I got a grant from the Esselstyn Foundation in Ohio, and I was able to teach a really cool class called Eat the Rainbow. I had food to sample. I explained how to take regular things like omelets and use chickpea flour to make a fantastic omelet. The class sold out, and then I had 60 extra people who didn't get to come.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
But what's nice when you have a grant,
Yeah.
you could do a lot more,
Yeah.
you know? But that said, I think there's actually interest in healthy vegan eating out there, you know? Because how you eat affects the energy you have, how clear your mind is, how good your brain works, you know, how well, I guess, and how you sleep, everything. So I think there's a lot of interest in a healthier version of eating. But the thing is, if you do go to Burger King and get those Beyond Burgers, great, it's
They're
a good
impossible.
step.
Impossible Whopper.
Right, they are Impossible Whoppers. You're right. My mistake. You're doing better, but you're not there yet.
Well, and I think nowadays with how easy it is to make that step into the processed substitutions, that a lot of people get there and then they don't know how to get past that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they might be interested in the health benefits of veganism, but they're like, oh, all I know is how to buy the products.
But you know, that's a great lead into myth number 3. Veganism is expensive, and it can be. If all you're buying is Impossible products and Rebel cheese, which is delicious but so pricey, and you're getting, you know, your fancy vegan foods, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive. Until a few years ago, I never spent more than $50 at the grocery store to feed myself because I eat mostly plant-based whole food. Yes, processed food can be expensive, but lentils are not. And for the most part, vegetables are not. Some vegetables are more than others. And I've been really fortunate. Like, I enjoy gardening. I enjoy, like, processing food. I don't find it monotonous. And I make time in my life to work with food because it is a priority to me to feed my body well.
Right, yeah.
And not everybody has that luxury. So I'm very fortunate. Right. I understand that I'm lucky. However, I would argue that whatever time you have to put into your food, do that.
Right.
And if you can get great tools out there like the Instapot or an air fryer, they save time and they make it easier to eat healthy, good food that doesn't have to be expensive. Tofu is not expensive.
Yeah, no, and you could do so much with it, but there's a barrier to entry for a lot of people with tofu.
There is.
They're scared of it. They don't know what to do with it. They think it looks weird.
Well,
I mean, it does look weird.
It does look a little weird.
Yeah. You know, my late dog loved to eat raw tofu. He would steal it off the counter.
What a great
Yeah,
dog.
He was a great dog.
Ugh.
Except he bit John.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
You know, they say animals know. So I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. I'll just bring it back to the cereal, though, because store brand shredded wheat is so affordable, and I fill up on that shredded wheat all the time.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, it's grains. Grains get overlooked in the discussion a lot.
They do. And grains get overlooked in a lot of discussions because our society is currently in a high protein, low carb frenzy. And it's been that way for about 20 years now.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks to Atkins, who died of a heart attack.
I know the irony. Poor Atkins.
Yeah.
Irony. Yeah, that's what we call that.
Yes.
Right? I think that for people who are interested in going vegan, that if you remove the processed foods from your cart, you will find your grocery bill drops significantly. And your cooking time doesn't have to go up. There are so many ways to find quick vegan recipes.
Oh, yeah.
There's huge blogs devoted to it, whole books, classes. There's a way to make it happen and to keep your grocery bill really low. I did look up the statistic. Right now in the United States, a pound of ground beef is about $6 or more, while a pound of dried lentils always costs under $1.50, sometimes as little as 15 cents a pound.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Lentil loaf. If you ever had a good lentil loaf,
Right?
like you know, that is better than a meatloaf.
Oh,
Agree.
for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. All of that said, going vegan in the 90s, none of those products existed. So all I could do was make my food.
Right.
You know, so to me, it just seems like life. But I didn't grow up with a lot of convenience foods. My parents didn't have money for it. It just wasn't part of my familiarity. But I understand now, like especially for like working parents and things like that, that it's important to have meals that are quick. But I'm here to say that it can be both, especially if you look at like cultural foods. Other cultures do a lot of amazing things with beans and rice, and you don't have to simmer a curry all day for it to be delicious.
Right.
You know, you could simmer a curry for 10 minutes and eat it.
Yeah.
Heck
You know?
Yeah.
It's just fine. You know, so that was myth number 3.
Myth number 3.
So number 4, the one that everybody's waiting to hear. Vegans don't get enough protein.
I haven't had any in 10 years.
So sad.
I know.
So sad.
I've actually died of protein deficiency.
Well, it's a good thing I'm familiar with ghosts.
Yeah.
I can still talk to you.
Oh, good.
Protein needs for people do vary. If somebody is very athletic, if a person is pregnant, if they are recovering from an injury, people over 50, all of these categories of people do need more protein. However, the average American gets way too much protein. Like most people are in an excess, and that actually starts acidifying in your body. Most adults need, I'm going to do the mathing here for you all, 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So an average American woman needs 45 to 55 grams a day, and the average American man needs 55 to 65 grams a day. That's not a ton. And it's real easy to get on a vegan diet. I got this information from the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Now, let's talk about the new food pyramid for a second.
Yeah.
The new food pyramid is telling people to eat more meat and cheese. It is now the top of...
And oil? Was oil also moved?
Oil was not at the top. It was moved, but it's not at the top.
Okay. The top as in like
what you eat the
the
most of.
largest
Yeah.
section of what you should eat.
Yeah.
Not the top where we think of as like
The little-
tiny triangle.
Right.
Right,
And if
yeah.
I'm correct, though, this new food pyramid was made by Kid Rock. Is that correct?
I think that, yes, right after he finished his medical degree.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I love when I get her like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I have a lot of concerns about the new food
Yeah.
pyramid. I have a lot of concerns about people getting enough fiber. If you don't get enough fiber, which is only available in plants, your gut stops working. You will be in the bathroom with no action. I don't know how else to say it, but no action. That must be very uncomfortable. I mean, they sell a lot of products to help with it.
Yes, they do.
It's true.
There was one laxative that had sparkly turds in their commercial.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were purple and sparkly.
Well,
and
sign me up for that product.
Oh.
Right? You know, I want purple sparkly
Yes,
turds.
heck yeah. I'd
it's
be pooping all the
amazing.
time if I had purple sparkly turds.
Yeah. No, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Okay.
I'll have to get back to you with the name of the product.
Yeah,
'cause I
send me a
can't-
link.
I can't remember it, but yeah, I did see that on like a YouTube ad. I was like, Dulcolax.
Okay.
Yeah, sparkly purple
All
turds.
right.
So anyway, there's a lot of places to get protein as a vegan. There, besides beans and lentils, tofu, tempeh, quinoa, oats, nuts, seeds, edamame, whole grains, and vegetables. Broccoli, great example. Lots of protein. You don't have to eat like 4 pounds of broccoli. Just eat a good portion with your meal. It doesn't have to be hard to make. Steam it, throw it in the microwave, bake it. I love baking huge amounts of vegetables on a sheet pan while I do other things, and then I pull the sheet pan out and I have vegetables ready for a whole week.
pretty
Great,
great.
easy meal. And the whole matching proteins thing is completely outdated as a subcategory of the protein myth. I do still get people say, do you have to eat beans with your rice? Like, well, I don't have to. Sometimes I'm lucky to. Sounds
Right.
great. It's my privilege to.
So that's an outdated idea now.
It is.
It is. It's
I haven't
actually
caught up to
science
that.
from the 1970s.
Okay.
And it's been since the 90s that was outdated.
Oh, I'm way behind. I only
Catch
learned it a
up.
couple years ago.
Catch up, bro. Where have you been?
I don't know.
You're looking for sparkly turds, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
totally
I'm out
lost
there.
track of what's going on here.
I've been out panning for sparkly turds.
Your body can actually balance its own amino acids. You don't have to protein combine.
Okay, good to know.
I mean, if you want to, I guess you can.
I mean, rice and beans are really good together.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
a classic dish.
It is. It is in many cultures. Like I said, it's not a scarcity issue with protein.
Right.
It's usually not eating a healthy diet issue. And I could not find any incidences in America in my research of people dying of protein deficiency. If you are eating enough calories, you probably have enough protein.
Yes.
Full stop. That's it.
Yep.
Do you need more in certain lifestyles? Absolutely. I used to know a team of vegan ultra marathoners. They did need more protein. Their bodies burned through. They just needed more calories, though.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They
yeah.
needed more everything,
Yeah.
not just more protein, but
Right.
more everything.
Right.
Because when you're running 50 miles, you burn through a lot.
Yeah.
So that was not me, by the way. I maxed out at 10 miles. I never went any further.
I got to 5, and I had to go to an orthopedist.
Oh, that'll happen.
No, my
Yeah.
body doesn't like running. I like running. My lower body doesn't like it.
I don't like running.
Really.
I don't like running anymore. I've moved back into, I should say, dancing and bicycling, and I like those, although not right now, but soon.
Yes, very soon.
Anything else I want to say about protein, other than this is definitely a myth? There's a fantastic book called Proteinaholic. It has a red cover, and I cannot think of the physician's name that wrote it right now. But if anybody listening is concerned, it fully dispels the protein myth scientifically. And it explains what happens if you keep getting too much protein.
Well, sounds like a good read.
It is a good read. I think you could probably get it as like an audiobook or an ebook as well at this point in the game.
I just recently listened to an episode. There's a great podcast called Decoder Ring that goes and decodes weird things, and there's a great episode from a couple months ago about how or why our society is so protein obsessed.
Oh, I love
apparently
it.
has happened like
Oh.
3 times. It's a cyclical thing, and it started like in the 1800s with some distilled beef boiled thing, and
This is a canned meat product.
Well, it was almost like a sludge. It was almost like an early version of the pink slime,
Okay.
but from beef. And it was sold as like, it was the first time that they marketed something as specifically for protein.
Was it in the 30s?
I think it was before that.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, the 30s would have made sense to me because of the Depression.
I think it was 18 something.
Oh, wow.
I think we're going way far back.
Okay.
But Decoder Ring, I cannot recommend it enough.
Great.
But,
I will actually look for that. I love food history.
Okay, yeah. Well,
So-
this is not just food; it's all kinds of.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a really good episode.
Yeah, I'm nerdy 24/7.
My favorite episode on there is the history of the sitcom Laugh Track. Check that one out.
Perfect. John, you going to insert one right here?
Oh yes, dude.
All right. So the last myth I'm going to dare to take on
Mm-hmm.
is that you need animal dairy products to have strong bones.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking earlier about
Dog
when,
milk. Everybody needs dog milk.
Dog
Right?
milk.
Mm-hmm.
you know, there used to be a product out there called cat milk.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was mind bending. Who milks a cat?
So it was it was actually cat milk.
I never touched it.
Uh-huh.
I saw it on the shelf and I went, oh my God. And
Well,
I
maybe,
just kept
maybe
on.
it was for cats.
Yeah, that's what
It
I
was for
wondering.
cats.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I
Buy cats for cats.
right? I don't know what was in it. I was terrified, and I left the store. But
I'm the whole way out of this store.
I was like, and I'm out. But because I had this mental picture of like an ornery cat being hooked up to a milking machine, and I was like, who would think of this?
oh, it was awful, but somehow adorable at the same time.
Awful.
Yeah.
And cats would never go for it.
No,
There's
yeah.
no way.
No.
No way. Yeah. Leaving the cat milk aside, let's talk about human needs for calcium and what calcium means. So, yes, you do need calcium in your diet to have strong bones and to grow bones, even as a child. And none of us really think about our skeleton.
Speak for yourself,
I want to say
Rissa.
I do.
Do you?
Top of
Yeah.
mind all the time.
Well, when I've said that before in groups I'm speaking in front of, people are like, oh, I don't really think about it. But I think it's an organ in our body that we usually take for granted is our skeleton.
You're right.
And at Halloween, we all drag them out, and we don't even relate to them. Like,
Right.
I've had people tell me, like, it's so scary. I'm like, well, you're using one right now. What about that? It is a scientific fact that higher dairy consumption is linked to higher bone fractures and higher incidences of osteoporosis. And this was first determined by the Harvard Nurses Health Study, which was a 12-year mega-analysis of women, basically covered their consumption of milk and calcium and where it came from and how many bone fractures they had, what their bone density looked like, and how it progressed over the time that the study went. Did I ever say it started in 1997?
No.
Okay, it started in 1997. And then they had a follow-up one that went until 2014. And it confirmed that women, I should say, who do not eat dairy have a 21% lower risk of bone fractures.
Okay.
That's impressive data to me.
Yes.
It's fascinating, too, how much emphasis our society puts on eating dairy, especially for children and women.
Yeah.
And they push yogurt on us and cheese and
Got milk?
and whole milk especially. And it's fascinating to me because we don't need it. We're not nursing baby cows.
Now, why do you think that has happened in our culture, Rissa?
Well, again, I'm not a food historian, but I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with money.
I bet you're right.
I'm sure
Government subsidies.
It has
Yes.
a lot to do with money. It has a lot to do with customs. It has a lot to do with the fact that this country, we developed a system where we were using dairy as a way to make money. And I don't think the dairy farmers are rich. I mean, I've never met one, but I've driven by dairy farms. It doesn't look like a life of luxury to me to work on one of those,
No.
especially the CAFOs. No, I don't think that's a life of luxury for those people that work there. But somebody's making money somewhere along the line, and that's why it's still a part of our culture. And, a lot of people say things to me like, what if we all stopped eating it at the same time? I'm like, well, that would be economic upheaval.
I love that. All the cows will overrun us.
No, that's not a fact. Maybe that would be all right.
Yeah, I mean, there's worse things than having a bunch of cows wandering around.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah, they're actually pretty peaceful creatures.
Yeah.
I mean, the bulls, maybe not.
Right.
But mostly they're killed off as veal calves.
Yeah.
So all of that said, the countries with highest dairy consumption have the highest incidence of osteoporosis and hip fractures: the United States, Scandinavia, and the UK. And places in the world where it's not traditional to eat much dairy, like a lot of the Asian countries and African countries, some of them osteoporosis barely exists. Like it barely is even in existence in their records. Vegan sources of calcium. I get this question a lot when I talk about this. Greens. Leafy greens. Leafy greens are actually bioavailable. When you are drinking cow's milk, that is not bioavailable.
Right.
Because you're not a baby cow. Cow's milk is alluring because it has chemically addictive properties in it. So people that have it, like, oh, I could never give up cheese. I've heard this probably more than 100 times. I'd be vegan, but I could never give up cheese. I can be vegetarian, but I could never give up cheese. I'm like, well, then go ahead and be vegetarian.
Right.
Do that.
Yeah.
Do what you can. You can give up cheese, but it's breaking a chemical addiction. I was sick in a colitis flare when I gave up dairy, so I don't miss it at all because it's one of my triggers for a flare-up. Don't think about it that way personally. So for me, it was easy.
Yeah.
But I know for most people that's not the case, and they don't have a major health crisis waiting for them if they eat it. They have a pleasure reward. What you love about it is that it's fatty and salty and soothing, especially cheese.
Right.
It's fatty and salty and soothing. But, Rebel cheese is also fatty and salty and soothing.
That's true.
I would suggest to anyone who says they can never give up cheese, spend the money on the fancy vegan cheese and see what you think.
Yeah.
There's a fantastic woman named Miyoko who put her butter recipe on the internet. You can make it in a blender at home very inexpensively and have amazing vegan butter to slather on your baguette. So,
Do you have her cookbook?
I do.
Yeah, I do too. It's great.
It's really good. I actually met her at one of the expos I attended as an editor. She's a really lovely person. Like, actually, genuinely a lovely
That's good
human
to
being.
hear. I like hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes.
Right.
But she was great.
Yeah.
Places to get vegan calcium. Back to that. Bok choy, kale, collard greens. I have a sesame allergy, but tahini and sesame seeds are actually great places to get calcium on a plant-based diet. Almonds, white beans, blackstrap molasses, figs, which are wonderful, but usually seasonal. And, of course, anything that's fortified. Most plant milks are fortified. Orange juice is fortified. And for people, once they start hitting around their 50s, especially women, it's time to get a calcium supplement. And there are vegan calcium supplements out there. But bone health is about a lot of things besides just calcium. Movement matters a lot. As you age, if you are not using your bones to strike a pavement or walk around or to make them recover from a weight-bearing exercise, you will get weaker bones. You have to move. Vitamin D plays a role, magnesium. All of these things are part of bone health, and it's not just about calcium.
All right.
Myth breaking.
Love it. Love it. I wish we could break 10 more myths right here.
I don't have the information ready, but do you have any in mind? I could try it.
Well, you ever hear that one about like the guy that got sucked out through an airplane toilet?
No.
I think that's a myth.
That sounds like a myth.
Yeah.
Because he'd have to be pretty small to fit through the hole.
Yeah, well, they say it killed him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
If you have any information on that, I'd be interested.
I can look it up and get back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have a book.
I do.
Rissa has written a lot.
I am a writer. I'm an author.
Okay, but you have a relatively brand new one.
Yes, just came out a few months ago.
Tell us about it.
It is called Room with a Boo. It is a children's book. It is based on a real-life place called the Yorktown Hotel in York, PA, and it is a 100-year-old hotel with ghosts. The ghosts there are actually quite friendly, and so they are all in this children's book, which is spooky but sweet.
Okay.
And it's about a little girl named Charlie who goes to the Yorktown Hotel with her dad and their dog. And the dog is very bad. He's a whippet. And he snatches away her stuffed bunny Fizz and a ghost named Betsy, who lives at the hotel.
So this is a real ghost, or a ghost.
It's based on a real ghost.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not something you just invented.
Correct.
Okay.
Although the whole idea came to me in a dream. I'm not going to lie. A lot of my writing comes to me in my dreams, and I remember them and I write them down. That is where this started.
Okay.
I don't have two hands, Seth, so can you hold open this page? There is a recipe from the Yorktown in the back. It is for their classic tomato bisque. This is a decades-old recipe, and they gave it to me to reprint, which is really cool, and there is a way to veganize it in the directions.
Excellent.
So you can make it either vegetarian or vegan. Next to it is the story of the ghosts, the actual ghosts of the Yorktown.
That is so cool, Rissa. And I think one of my favorite things is when you open it to just this very first page. What do we have going on this very first page?
That's the ghost and her goat. So at the Yorktown Hotel, there's a taxidermied goat. When the Yorktown was built in 1925, it was crowdsourced. They raised the money locally to put that hotel up. And it was $1.25 million to build it in 1925.
Wowza, wow.
That was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
And not as much now. You couldn't build the Yorktown now for that amount of money. But they crowdsourced it, and they did it in teams. And the winning team got the taxidermied pygmy goat.
Of course, as you do.
Right?
Yeah.
Of an obvious choice.
Right.
The goat is still at the hotel, and you can go there today and see the goat in the lobby. Taxidermied goat still there. In the book, I called the goat Juniper. It's threaded the stories together that it was the ghost's goat in her lifetime.
Fantastic. And I personally have read the book a couple times and just find it so delightful and fun.
Thank you.
And it's unique in that it's like you said, it's a kid's book. Well, I mean, adults can enjoy it, but it's spooky on just that right level for,
thank
for
you.
a child.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, would you like John to put a link up to purchase the book on the
I
screen?
can send John a link.
Because I can make John put it in a specific space.
Okay.
So watch this. Put it right here, John. And also in the show notes, of course. But now put it here again, John. Look at that. Isn't that amazing how it just magically appeared right there both times? That's how good
It's
John
very
is.
cool. John is very talented.
He is.
He's an excellent editor. I've been working with him for years.
Well, do you have anything else you'd like to discuss with us while you're here?
Would you like me to read one of my poems?
Oh my gosh, would I ever? Yes.
Earlier this year, I had two poems published in Collective Paul, which is an animal rights anthology. This was my first time working with this particular editor, Alex Johnson. It was really cool to be part of a group of writers all writing about animal rights. And I wrote a bunch of poems, but in the end, I submitted two, and he took both. I think I'm going to read the one called Good Fences. And this is based on the Robert Frost poem.
Yep.
So I have a particular connection to that. I spent a summer in Bennington, Vermont. I got to hear Robert Frost writing read by a professor at his grave. And so I've always sort of hung with Good Fences. Here we go. Good Fences. The fence was not questioned. It stood between two worlds, plate and pasture. Because good fences make good neighbors. One side, strong, clean planks, fresh white paint brushed onto wood, a rustic picture of farm life. The other, packed shoulder to shoulder, crammed into pens and unable to turn. Best not to talk about the sounds at dawn. We were taught protein, not beings, taught not to look at faces behind metal bars, electric wire, but there is something that does not love a wall. One day a board bent, and wind carried panic and ammonia. Then a missing slat, a broken post, and truth slipped through like streaks of sunlight illuminating one person at a time. Each saw their eyes were not blank, but watching, searching for compassion. Good fences make good neighbors, someone said, reaching for a hammer, intending to rebuild. But what are you walling in or closing out? Does the fence hold your discomfort? An illusion that what happens on the other side is not real. Perhaps once the fence falls, truth is uncomfortable. I say we were never good neighbors to those on the other side. We are learning. We are learning kindness makes good neighbors.
Very nice.
Thank you.
That is an amazing poem, Rissa.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Always a
here
pleasure.
On the Be Kind podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Be Kind podcast, presented by the